My name is Adam Beguelin. I am the Chief Mentor at Holberton Coding School. What I love about Holberton is it's very practical. It's 9 months long. It's difficult, but when you're done, you have an amazing foundation. You're doing super low-level stuff in the beginning and then slowly move up the stack. So you're doing low-level coding, then you do mid-level coding with Python. You start with C, SSH, really low-level stuff. Then at the end, you're building full-stack websites. So it's very hands-on. It's very practical. You're not spending a bunch of time learning things that are useless. Everything you learn is super valuable on the job right away. Yeah, I think anybody that's interested in coding, that's interested in a tech job, you do have to have a high school degree and you have to live in Puerto Rico. And you have to be over 18 or over. But I would say anyone who wants to upskill, somebody who wants to get into tech, get into coding, become a software developer, we're gonna take you through, we call it 0 to hero, right? You don't have to have any coding knowledge. And when you leave, you're gonna be a junior full stack developer. And you don't need any prior experience. So no matter what you're doing, you need to know some English, know some Spanish, I think the main thing is grit, right? You have to be self-motivated. We don't really babysit people here, right? Like, this is a tough program. And once you get through it, you're gonna be in great shape. Yeah, so if you think about what you do on a job, right? A job is really a series of projects. And so at Holberton, we structure the learning as projects. And it's project-based learning, it's peer-based learning. So you're working with students, you're working with other people, just like you would in a job, right? We have daily stand-up meetings, just like you would in a tech job, right? So it prepares you for the kind of life and the kind of work style that you're gonna have in a tech company. So, I started 5 tech companies in Silicon Valley, right? And the curriculum here is very similar to working at a startup, right? You're learning new stuff all the time, you're learning new technology, you're figuring out problems, you're working together to solve problems. So it's very, the thing I love it about the most is that it simulates the work environment, a successful work environment. Yeah, so I went through the traditional path, right? Like I got a bachelor's, I got a master's, I got a PhD, I was a professor, right? Like I went through the whole path, I was on the other side. For me, if you can afford it, it's great, right? If you can afford the time, but I think today, in today's fast-paced world, having something like a 9-month program where you just learn the skills that you need, right? And you're not learning philosophy and you're not taking these useless courses. They're not useless, they're interesting, but really they're not gonna help you get a job, right? You don't need to take mechanical engineering to be a coder, right? You don't need to take French history to be a coder, right? So I think we boiled it down to what is really essential for being a software developer in a tech company. And so I think that's really, the future. That's where we're going. A lot of universities, I think, are focusing more on practical skills, and we've streamlined that whole process. Well, I think it's a practical experience that they gain while they're working on these projects. These are real-world projects. Also, at the end of the program, they do a demo day where they come up with their own projects. And it shows that they can learn new technology very quickly. And so I think what sets them apart is just the practicality, right? Like by the time you're done with our program, you've written a lot of code, right? You've built a lot of stuff. And you've also learned how to work in a team. So it's not just the hard skills, I think it's the soft skills. Those daily stand-up meetings, the peer learning days where they talk to each other, they're presenting to each other. These are very similar to the kind of interactions you would have at a real company. And so I think that really helps our students stand out. Obviously you have to have tech skills, right? And you have to have tech skills, but I think the soft skills are important. But the thing that people miss, I think, is networking and keeping an open mind. So almost every single job I got, starting with internships, right, were through people I knew, right, through the network that I had. And through those people, you meet more people, right? And so I think it's key to get out there, get your work out there. So build a portfolio, talk about your portfolio, but network. Go to networking events, go to co-working spaces whenever a company has an event, make sure you go. Puerto Rico has a lot of great events. So I think focusing on networking is something that can really make a big difference. Well, machine learning, AI, and we do have an AI specialization, a machine learning specialization here. But I think people think about, okay, AI is going to take our jobs, right? That's a fear. I think what's going to take your job is people who know how to use AI, right? So it's people with using AI that's going to get more opportunities, right? And so we do teach tools using AI tools in our program, right? And we also teach fundamental AI, how to build those tools, right? And so I think just being up to speed on how to use all the AI tools, and they're constantly changing, obviously, but there are some amazing tools out there. And so being well versed in those, I think, will make you even more higher demand. Well, I have to come back to AI again. It's also, cloud obviously has been around for a long time. Cloud computing, some of the cloud platforms are just incredible, right? And so the mix of having AI tools that work with cloud is just super exciting to me. I have my own coding projects, and I'm using AI and I'm using cloud products, distributed software projects, or products every day, right? And so I think the interface of all the different cloud providers with AI gives our students and our grads incredible opportunities. Well, I think communication is key, right? So, and learning how to communicate, how to work in a team. I think communication and working in a team are super important. And we do that here, right? So we're peer-based learning, project-based learning. Students are working together. They do team projects, especially the final project, the demo day project. So yeah, I would say teamwork, really, yeah.